In the history of the British monarchy, there is an impressive catalogue of characters who have become icons of world history. King James VI of Scotland and I of England is one of them. Having been king practically all his life since his mother Mary abdicated in his favor when he was only 1 year old. James is known for being the first king to have unified Scotland and England. James was born in 1567, and the following year he was named King of Scotland. When his aunt Elizabeth I of England passed away without heirs, the throne of England passed to him in 1603. Among other curiosities for which James is famous are his treatises on witchcraft, the creation of the first Anglican Bible, which is still read, importing tobacco into the UK, and being the target of the famous gunpowder plot of 5 November. However, there is much more behind this character that many biographies leave out, including his sexual orientation. There are many documents that speak of his interest in handsome young men of the court, such as Tom Tell Troth's compilation that says, "There he can kiss his young men without shame, and make his stable boys his companions without any danger, who, knowing their secret sins, assume for themselves as much power and respect as Catholic priests are accustomed to giving to their confessors." It is even said that King James had no problem with showing his affections in public, despite being something punishable at the time. For James, the relationships he had with the young men of his court were not precisely of a sexual nature. He was actually a hopeless romantic who didn't hesitate to show his affection in a myriad of ways. James was seen as a just and happy king. Despite this, the excessive affections that James showed earned him the nickname of Queen James. Like an Ottoman sultan, James used to hold meetings in which he was surrounded by handsome young men, and of course, he also had his favorites. One of his most famous favorites was Esme Stuart, Duke of Lennox, whom he met in 1580 at age 14 and who is said to have sparked his passions. According to the letters that were exchanged, Stuart was not only his first great love, but the one who introduced him to a world of sophistication that he had not seen in Scotland. When he was appointed King of England, James was dazzled by the beauty of one of his pages for the ceremony, Robert Carr. James never forgot his face. Years later, during a festival, Carr had a horse accident. Recognizing him, James ran to help him and took care of his recovery. After his recovery, James positioned him within his court and eventually named him Earl of Somerset. As with Lennox, the court did not approve of this favoritism. Many reasons ended up knocking Carr from his pedestal, but the biggest one was a young man considered the most handsome man in the kingdom. This young man was cleverly selected by Carr's detractors to impress the king. His name was George Villiers, better known as the Duke of Buckingham. Buckingham was his greatest love. Even in 2004, a secret passage connecting their rooms was discovered. In addition, in many of the letters they exchanged, there are signs of love that go beyond friendship. Naturally, I love your person so much, and I adore all your other parts, which are more than a single man ever had. The relationship was so strong that in 1617, a moral debate was held in the Privy Council, where James was asked to explain the nature of their relationship. Jacobo, as honest as he was known to be, but with great wit, said, "You can be sure that I love the Duke of Buckingham more than anyone, and more than you who are gathered here. I wish to speak in my own name and not to be thought of as a defect, because Jesus Christ did the same, and therefore I cannot be blamed. Christ had John and I have George. Despite sufficient documentation and evidence, James' historians and biographers have always preferred to ignore the issue of his sexual orientation. Some have even assured that they are nothing more than gossip from his detractors who sought to expose him as a vulnerable man. However, it is unlikely, since James was a monarch who brought peace to a kingdom that had been in conflict for decades, promoted the economy and culture, and most importantly for that time, he secured a line of succession with 7 children, of which 3 reached adulthood. Meaning his sexual orientation in no way affected his work as a monarch and head of state. Rather, they make his story even more interesting. After all, James is considered one of the most intelligent monarchs in the history of the United Kingdom.